my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
They're here.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's showtime.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the VHS Strikes Back. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to the VHS Strikes Back, the show where we dust off the old video player and go on a nostalgic journey to look at the good and the bad movies of yesteryear. Now, Chris, what are we going to review this week?
Well, Dave, it's my pick, and this episode comes out at Christmas, so this is a lovely Christmas present for you and all our listeners, patrons. I was like, last year I peaked with Santa with Muscles, which is still an absolute classic. But I was looking for ages, like martial arts movies, action movies that have got a Christmas thing. I mean, even we've stretched, haven't we? We talked about like First Blood and everything, having a Christmas tree, Cobra having a Christmas tree or whatever. But this is actually a Christmas film, Dave. So we're going back to 1993. It's the third one in the I don't know if it's an unbelievable trilogy, but the first one holds a place in my heart when we covered it because it was the first movie I'd ever gone to the cinema on my own with my friends to watch. But this one stars Diane Keaton, Danny DeVito, Kirstie Alley, and John Travolta, Dave. Oh, and Lisette Anthony, because I have a story about Lisette Anthony, Dave. This one is Look Who's Talking Now. So, Dave, had you ever seen this before we were reviewing it this week?
You know, I hadn't, and I don't think I even knew that this was out. I don't think I knew this was a thing. We did the first one. Was it last year or the year before, maybe? And I remember when it came out, I absolutely loved the original, and cute little baby with Bruce Willis's voice on, and you're like, oh, right, this is really funny. And I remember going back and watching it, and it was like, oh, we get like proper sperm scene chasing the egg sort of thing. I was like, all right, okay. And then the fucking the guy she's having an affair with, Kirstie Alley, he's in this one as well, isn't he? I'm trying to think of his name.
George Segal or something like that.
That's him. That's him. Yeah. George Segal, Albert. So, and I just remember when we rewatched it, not really thinking it was that great, and like, oh, what did I like about this? I was like, all right, okay. But at the time, when it came out in the 80s, really loved it, and then enjoyed the sequel as well. Probably not as much as the original, but remember enjoying the sequel. And I just don't think I knew this one was out. And again, I think, let me think, 93, I'd have been 17 at this time. I think I'd probably grown out of like watching family movies. I always hark back to things like Reservoir Dogs being a little bit of a switch for me, where I was like, oh, right, fucking hell. And being a bit more into grown up movies and feeling like I was, too old now for these sort of family movies. So maybe that was it. But I mean, there was one particular meme, isn't there? The little girl, so shaking something because she's looking angry. So that came out, and I was like, oh, that's what that's from. But
I was the same.
In terms of the whole movie, no, never watched it. But what's your background to it?
Well, obviously, when we did the first one, that was my pick because I loved that one when I was a kid. Rented it a few times. Second one, I know the second wasn't received greatly, and some say it's worse than this one, but this one does have a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, Dave. This one is absolutely panned all over the place. And you mentioned Reservoir Dogs, because obviously there is a Quentin Tarantino link as such, and it's a stretch, but John Travolta went from this, Dave, to Pulp Fiction. So how he went from fucking this bellend in this movie, this character, fucking James, to Vincent Vega, I do not know, but there you go. That's acting, and it saved his career, as Pulp Fiction. But I rented this one, and I think this probably was around the time when I was going about the elusive 1-year competition of free videos and that we could rent as a family. And everyone, every man and his dog fucking got bored eventually of having it for a couple of weeks and was like, yeah, you can have it back to me, Grandad. But I've probably rented this out. I've definitely seen it before. It seemed dead familiar. But you're right, that meme, which is usually used for like the girls, it's like they're telling off or smelling or whatever. It's a proper meme because they zoom in on it. When I saw, I was the same as usually going, I knew it was from somewhere, but I never twigged even. So, yeah, I know this was absolutely panned when it first come out. I know that it was hated, and even reading the trivia, fucking Kirstie Alley give up the last sort of big Cheers get together because Cheers finished as she was filming this, Dave, and was doing like live streams to the cast and all this, like a sort of hurrah for Cheers. I'd have been like, fuck that. I'd be straight over to, doing the Cheers stuff. But yeah, this all coincided as Cheers finished, which was such a great show when we were young. I don't know whether it's any good now. I used to love it when I was a kid. And I always had a crush on Kirstie Alley. I was never really... Diane was the other one, wasn't it? Diane, I can't remember her name, was the other woman. Shelley Long, she was the original woman in Cheers, and then it became Kirstie Alley. But obviously, having a penchant for the brunettes, Dave, I was a bit of a Kirstie Alley fan. I did like a bit of Catherine Think as well, or Romancing the Stone as well, in back in the day. She was so nice.
Kathleen Turner?
Kathleen Turner, that's it, not Catherine. No wonder I couldn't remember her second name. Catherine was her sister. I liked her as well. But no, so I have no background on this other than watching it a few times and knowing that it's an absolute turkey. And also knowing that it's my final year of the stitch-up, Dave. And I'm like, well, let's go out with a bang because I know that you are going to have me next week, Dave, for our New Year's Eve special. But I thought, you know what? At least I'll be able to sit there eating my mince pies and having me, celebrations and that with a little cheeky smile, knowing that you've been pissed off watching this movie, Dave. And hopefully, but there you go.
And got an inadvertent callback as well, because I'm sure you mentioned The Wrath of Khan, the Star Trek 2 movie as well. And of course, she was in that, wasn't she, as Savick? So, another thing that Kirstie Alley was in, I guess, 11 years before this one. So there you go. Interesting inadvertent callback there.
I just don't know what you think of it.
No. So anyway, Chris, should we get into our trailer?
Let's go.
Just when you thought cinema had finally run out of places to go, Hollywood looked to talking babies and said, what if they were dogs?
I'm not sure whether that was Smashing Nicely or Australian, but anyway, it caught me right off guard. Not clever dogs, not interesting dogs, just dogs with the inner monologues of divorced stand-up comics. And that's a fucking stretch.
From the studio that asked, how many times can we reuse the same joke? Comes the bold sequel absolutely no one asked for.
This time, the baby's fine, the adults are fine, but the dogs have opinions.
Starring John Travolta, Kirstie Alley, once again playing adults who seem deeply unconcerned that their pets are narrating their sex life.
Honestly, Dave, if my dog started commenting on my marriage, I'd have been put down or elected to Parliament. What the fuck have you got this from?
Meet Rox, the loyal masculine dog voiced by Danny DeVito.
He sounds like he smokes 40 a day and hates everyone, including the audience. Dave, I hope you can tell him to try and do John Travolta, right? But anyway, carry on.
And Daphne, the glamorous poodle, voiced by Diane Keaton.
Have you got a nasal problem? Which raises the question, who sat Diane Keaton down and said, would you like to play a horny dog?
It's romance. It's family. It's dogs having thoughts.
It's just coffee.
It's dogs having thoughts that should never be shared.
Yeah, that's nothing more unsettling than having a dog reflect on commitment issues.
Look who's talking now. The film that proves if you wait long enough, any franchise will become about animals judging you.
It's less look who's talking and more, please stop talking.
Because in the year of the stitch-up, sometimes the biggest stitch-up of all
is realizing someone got paid to write this.
Look who's talking now.
Yeah, Sid, stay. Never make another one of these, and thank God they never did.
James and Molly are settling into family life with their children, Mikey and Julie, when they each bring home a dog. Though the dogs clash at first, they soon grow close, and unexpectedly gives birth to a litter of puppies. Unable to keep them all, James and Molly are forced to give the puppies away, breaking up the small family almost as soon as it forms. During the separation, one curious puppy is briefly distracted by Mikey and Julie passing by, drawn to Mikey's familiar scent of cookies and dirt before being carried off by strangers. He later escapes from 2 rough youths and finds himself alone on the streets, beginning life as a stray and setting off on his journey. Now, Chris, what do you reckon to the opening of this movie?
Well, Dave, I've got to say, Year of the Stitch-Up, this is perfect fodder. This movie is terrible. This movie is absolutely... The storyline, there is none. We get this whole Lady and the Tramp bollocks at the start with the dogs, which I've got to say, the actual... And this film, by the way, is fully available on YouTube. So this is the level we're working at this week, everybody. It's fully on there. There's no like dark arts to try and find it. It is available, which says it all. You go on there, and I had it on in my headphones. So I was watching it while I was on the bike in the gym, and then was thinking, and that bit with the like Danny DeVito and Diane Keaton when they're talking over it's so bad. Whatever the mixing is that they've done afterwards with them sort of trying to go with what the dogs are doing and make it sound right, and the talking, it's fucking awful. It's so bad. It's unbelievable. Like Danny DeVito, you know, he's just the dog and all that shit. I think because they've gone with the kids, and then there's a point where the kids in a monologue, you know, disappears. And we're almost at like the Family Guy type thing, aren't we? Like Stewie, you know, like where he's got that talking and there's only thing you think of the dog. He's the only one who actually understands him, sort of thing. And then it's just weird. Like you've got that whole thing. I get it. But I feel as if like you could have done this movie without the dogs, without them talking. It was just like, it made no sense. However, Dave, this movie is terrible, but I did quite enjoy it. And I don't know why, because it is fucking rubbish. Like John Travolta is just playing his usual Danny Zuko at this point, isn't he? He's like just the same buffoon sort of thing as he was in the others. We get this whole putting the kids to bed thing where they're crossing over in the hallway and all that. I think John Travolta and Kirstie Alley do a good job in this, but the rest of the movie is absolutely atrocious. But Lysette Anthony, Dave, I've just finished watching Alvida Zane Pet. She was in the first series. She gets married to Mr. Wayne Winston Norris in it. Well, we see it off camera, and in the second one, she's not in it, but she's on the building site in the last few episodes. Then I always said a bit of a thing for her. Then she was in Depeche Mode. I Feel You, the video as well. She's absolutely stunning. She's just been in Hollyoaks, Dave. Just left Hollyoaks as a.
Really?
Yeah, she's been in Hollyoaks for a good few years as a baddie. So I think she left because of health reasons, but she must be about 60 odd now. But I always thought she was absolutely stunning when she was younger, Dave, and when she got a bit older as well. But so she's the professional who hires James. But yeah, I've talked a lot, I waffled a lot, and I've done it on purpose, Dave, because I actually quite enjoyed this as a Christmas movie. But I'm waiting to hear what you think of it.
I mean, you're forgetting as well with Lysette, is it Lysette Anthony?
Yeah.
Also, Krull.
Oh, yes. Yes, she was. Yeah. Good point.
Legendary film, sci-fi, fantasy, adventure. But yeah, so I can see why this would be nostalgic. And I think if I watched this, I don't know, in 93, maybe I wouldn't, but maybe I would as well. But watching it now, this is fucking terrible. It is rubbish. I mean, you say that John Travolta and Kirstie Alley do well, but I don't know if it's the acting or the writing, but just everything is terrible and nothing makes sense. I mean, the initial premise was, you know, just this funny little gag almost that you put in a grown man's voice onto a baby and projecting those thoughts. And the babies can somehow Professor X style talk to each other with telekinesis, you know. So that's the gag. But the kids have grown up, so they've lost that telekinetic power, and they just use normal speech, but instead the dogs do it. And so I'm just like, at some point it's evolved from the humans. Like I don't know, there's just something that jars with me, that transferring it. If you're going to watch, I don't know, Santa Buddies or something like that, or Hotel for Dogs, or something like where you've got animals talking to each other, it just feels like it should be a different franchise. And yeah, I just don't think there's anything good about this. I mean, when here's the thing, I guess the timing of watching this thing like probably matters as well. But even in the opening, you've got this comedic opening, but it's just, to me, it's just family life. Like, kids are a pain in the arse, and they're a fucking handful, and they're hard work. And I don't know if we're supposed to be bought into that. I mean, Kirstie Alley as well. Like, I don't know. I never understood right from the first, like, why is she with this George Segal pensioner? Never understood that. But then, you know, she ended up falling for James, and, you know, after that whole, the way Mikey was born and everything. But, like, even at work, she's going on to other people. Oh yeah, probably mess up this thing. He's a bit shit, he's a bit rubbish. She's like proper laying into him to her work colleagues, not even her close friends. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm not really liking you. I'm not really pulling for you at all to do well or anything. So yeah, I didn't like that. I also didn't kind of get, he seems to have a taxi, but he also seems to be jobless. And I kind of feel like if you've got a taxi, that is an instant job.
That's in New York.
Exactly. So I was puzzled by that. But then also the idea that Samantha, you know, played by Lizette Anthony, is this fucking big, powerful businesswoman. You know, she does business, and you know, she's on Time magazine and everything, and but she's weirdly got this cunning plan to, you know, steal John Travolta away on Christmas Eve. I guess I should get over it and stop trying to look for the logic and just embrace the fact that it's a Christmas movie and logic doesn't exist. But yeah, I fucking hated this, Chris. I think you did your job there.
Well, I think you're right though. I think like Kirstie Alley's character Molly, in the first one, she's having an affair anyway. That's how she gets pregnant, doesn't she? Because she's having an affair with that guy, George Segal's character. And then like James comes on, takes her and Mikey on, and it's quite a good film, the first one, and they get together and that. But yeah, by this point, the third one, oh my God, it's dying on its arse. Like the whole, as I said, the Lady and the Tramp thing is absolutely atrocious. There was just no need for it. There was no need for, and I know that's what the whole point of the movie is. Look who's talking. It's like the inner monologue. But why the dogs, Dave? I just don't get it. I just really don't understand it. I know the kids are talking now, so it sort of makes it mute, because the idea is that they're talking internally and they're the ones who can sort of communicate together and all that. That's the premise of the movie. But yeah, I think you're right as well about Lisa Anthony. Like, this high-powered business exec, you know, this CEO, whatever she is. He can't get a job. He goes to the interview, and like you say, Molly is just bigging him up. I mean, to be fair, Dave, Molly is pretty much
bigging
what Sam says to,
bigging him up, putting him down.
Well, no, yeah, it's not really. Well, I mean, it's pretty much what Sam does where if we're going into a situation, she'll say to me, don't fucking talk, don't start, don't talk. There's a guy here yesterday come to the house, and he's chatting away, and I could hear Sam was upstairs, and as I'm talking to him, I'm thinking, she's now thinking, shut the fuck up, he's here to do a job, Chris. You know what I mean? Because I am that guy, Dave. You know, because I do building stuff and build things as a job and all that. If I get someone in who's a builder, I have to go and say to him, like, yeah, I can do that, you know, like one of them. I do get a bit like that. But his character, I think James is probably stayed the same throughout the movies. I think Travolta's just playing himself. Honestly, I think the movie's absolutely terrible, but there's something watchable about it. And like, it's on for 90 minutes. It is a Christmas movie as such. It's not held up. There's a reason it's at 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think the stuff with the dogs it's just weird, because like they call the dog Rox, which is weird, Danny DeVito. And then you've got the fact that Lisa Anthony's character brings this poodle to him, don't they? You know, like it's Diane Keaton, and she's like Daphne, and it's like, oh, here. And all it is, it's a sort of tool for Lisa Anthony to get a clause into James because they're always together. And what's weird is James is the pilot of her plane, which you'd think he'd be like, right, I'm leaving New York now. But for some reason, he's got like a full-time job at her offices, Dave. He always seems to be like in the office. I don't get that. Like, you would have a chauffeur. Now, if he was a hybrid, so he's like, as a taxi driver, because as you say about the job, he's her chauffeur stroke pilot, that would have made more sense. But the fact that her pilot, there seems to be just following her to these business meetings, just doesn't make any sense. There is a massive plot hole there, because I know it's to get James in on the show and everything, but it's also sort of like, it's a bit weird. However, there is a bit of a darker turn to some of the stuff in this movie, especially the dreams and some of the things, isn't there? Like, there's a bit of a, there is a few bits that are a little bit out of place, aren't they? When having these like sort of imagine she dreamed things and that, they're a bit weird. But I think as a movie, it's poor, but I just love the fact you didn't like it, Dave. And I did actually quite enjoy it, which I find bizarre because it is utterly shit. It's shit on toast. And then some, Dave, you don't want to be watching this on Christmas Eve with your celebrations. You want to be watching this with a bottle of Jack Daniels or something to get you through it if you don't like these sort of movies. But yeah, I mean, it's not at the level of Santa's Muscles. I think that'll be the peak Christmas movie for me. But I think the idea of this, it certainly doesn't deliver, and it's just weird in certain points. There's some really weird, like almost like a horror movie type, not horror, but you know, like sort of Tales from the Crypt. There's just some weird things going on all the time in it, which takes me out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about the dream sequences there. And again, I just don't know whether part of it could be me just not being in the right frame of mind, but the abstract silliness of it just took me out, because the idea is, he's away, and I guess she's lost her job, hasn't she? So she's Molly's the high-powered businesswoman, so she seems to have the dominant role in the relationship and looks down on James like he's a bit of a failure. But when she loses her job and he's got the job, you've got this flipping dynamic. So they're both spending a bit more time away from each other, so they're both thinking the worst and having these dreams, but then the dreams come together and they seem to have this awareness that they've got this shared dream, and I'm just like, it's fucking terrible. And then you got George Segal fucking turning up there as well and reminding me like how ridiculous it is, or that first one was. I just didn't care for this at all. I just thought everything about it was really, really sloppy and like a half-assed attempt to just wring or squeeze the pips out of this franchise.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think like with Samantha, Dave, and I should know that being my wife's name, but Samantha, trying to get him alone. Well, they're alone a lot, aren't they? They're all over the world. He's calling her saying like, like, you've not been home for 2 weeks, and it's like, we're gone to Rome, and she's keeping him away and all this, and I'm like, it's just a bit weird. And there's a couple of bits where she's like, the plunging neckline there's a bit of cleavage going on. She's trying to like entice him, but James is just not picking up on this. And we have to have, Dave, the fact that she decides to isolate him on Christmas Eve and say, we're going, I've got this big meeting, I've got to go and like do a presentation to this guy and his lodge and all this stuff, and it's the middle of the winter, so it's absolutely literally snowed in and all that, and he goes, and she sort of, it's almost like a fucking murder, like when you watch on the movies where someone's in a hut or somewhere and they cut the phone lines and everything. She just turns everything off, doesn't she? And I'm like, look, listen, what is the attraction of James? All right, he's a pilot, great, but there's nothing else. He's got 2 kids, he's married. Like, what you could have anybody, but for some reason, James is the one she's grown close to and all this. But what I find like utterly preposterous of this movie is when it gets to that bit, is the fact that somehow Kirstie Alley can track him down, Dave, no internet, no nothing, and then get a flight on Christmas Eve to his destination. She's got 2 children. And, you know, the mum gives her a pep talk about how a dad was stranded on an island with all these women.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, all right, go on. Yeah, go on then, before we go any further.
Just because the mum is like, no, he'll be absolutely fine. So your father, you know, he was stranded on I can't remember what they call them, like the girls who used to go out and do some dancing for the GIs and whatever in the war. Yeah, so, you know, he's stranded on an island with all these girls and nothing happened. And you know how I know that? Because they told me. I sat there like, yeah, that seems like a cast iron case to me. There is no fucking way nothing didn't happen on that island.
Yeah, he'd have been fucking balls deep there, 100%, wouldn't he? I was thinking about you the whole time. Oh, I bet you was. Yeah, I fucking bet you was. But that was a weird scene, wasn't it? It was that sort of like, yeah, you know, go and get him. And she can somehow. She can. I mean, we saw Die Hard 2, Dave, getting out of Dulles Tower and that in Washington. That is horrendous. Flights are being cancelled and everything. Not like it's in the same timeline. Maybe that's why Bruce Willis wasn't in this one, Dave. He just finished Die Hard 2. But this is like so thin and shit. But we have to get John Travolta doing a dance. Now, I'd been down a bit of a rabbit hole, Dave. I didn't realise that Travolta had never danced before he did Saturday Night Fever or Staying Alive, whatever it's called.
Oh, really?
The first one. He wasn't a dancer. So when he's doing these moves, I always thought he was a professional dancer, like Patrick Swayze was a professional dancer stroke ballet he did all, you know, theatre stuff. Travolta wasn't. He got taught by a disco instructor guy, he's quite famous, and he was useless, and that's why Travolta got booted off that movie at first, because he was so wooden. So maybe that's why every time you see him, he just does a fucking shimmy go when as he's dance, because that's all he's got in his fucking. I think it's in Greece. I love the hand jive dance. I think he's great in that, but obviously it's sort of the same thing, isn't it? So maybe he got better as he got older. I'm not saying you can't become a better dancer, but I honestly thought Travolta was a trained dancer, you know, like a stage dancer and that, but he wasn't, which is weird. But we still get it, don't we? The sexiness, and he's dancing with her, and yeah, I don't know whether James would have in real life fucking held out there, Dave. I'm being honest there. I just, you know, dedication to the cause. You know, he was more than committed to Molly and the kids, wasn't he? And then we get like a fucking werewolf type situation where the wolf tries to attack him, and that fucking mutt Rocks all of a sudden turns into fucking Macho Man Randy Savage and just you know, fucking wants to start kicking the shit out of a wolf. Like, fuck off! I'm not having that.
I love the idea that Rox is gonna like give him the elbow from the top rope or something.
Oh yeah,
dig it. So
that would have been better day for the movie. Macho Man had come off the tree, off one of the branches, and done a fucking elbow drop. That would have been miles better than what we saw. But that is so ridiculous, that scene.
Yeah, and again, it's just for me the movie is just messy about what is it trying to concentrate on, what is it trying to say, and you obviously have Rox and Daphne. You know, they didn't get on. You know, he's a bit too rough. He's from the streets, isn't he? And she sets him up by biting through all the shoes and everything. But then, you know, they find out later, because I think Daphne goes through the mud for the first time, and that was a bit weird and sexual, that scene as well. I felt like, but yeah, Rox just ends up being this fucking nails dog, and it's weird because you know it's the voice of Danny DeVito, and so you can't separate the voice from Danny DeVito. I just struggle to think that, you know, he's going to take out these wolves and save the day, kind of thing. And what I found really weird is, well, when Samantha, basically, like you say, like a horror movie, she cuts the phone lines, or she doesn't cut them, but she just unplugs them and just leaves them dangling out there, very obviously. It's all just a bit fucking weird. And I'm like, you've gone to this level to take James away on Christmas Eve. Like, and you've had all this opportunity before. Like, it's just, it makes no sense. But when he sort of runs off, and you know, he finds Rox, and you know, that's where Rox defends from the the kind of wolves and everything. When he comes back, when James comes back and sees Molly and the kids, he seems to wait an age. He's like, oh, rocks, he I can't do it, John Travolta, but yeah, he totally saved us. No, that was rubbish. But, so yeah, you're waiting for fucking ages to say, yeah, he saved us and he's okay.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to build up attention, but it seemed to go on for about 30 seconds where you think, oh, fucking hell, he's paid the ultimate sacrifice there. Oh, no, he's there. But, I just found that artificially, they tried too hard to build up that tension. And it finishes off and then they're snowed in and then you get Santa Claus at the end. But I can't say I cared about any of it. I feel like when they're putting this to paper, they're writing the script and everything, you can see the beats that they're trying to go for. But I just, and with John Travolta, I have to say, I was surprised when he said he hadn't been a professional dancer or anything. His dancing is awesome, it's probably the best thing in this movie. But you get James and Molly, they're back together, you got the kids, they're all together. That's the main thing at Christmas. I can see what the writers are going for, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't come off.
No, it doesn't. It is a very, very poor movie, this. It's just, like, literally, I reckon they'd have watched this, all of them, and gone, fuck me, I hope I'm getting paid well for this. Because it is a shocker, and I agree. It's perfect for the stitch up. It's perfect for people to watch it and go, oh my God, we hate you, Chris. That's fine. That's exactly what I'm going for. But as a standalone Christmas movie, there's a reason that nobody ever talks about this in the conversation of classics, Dave, because it fucking isn't. It is a really poor movie. So, Dave, shall we get into our scores?
Let's go.
So, Dave, obviously it was my pick. I did enjoy it, which is weird. It's really poor, and I can see it for that. I'm not going to sit here and go, it's a absolute classic, and it'll be in the rotation of movies. It won't. It will not be in any rotation of any of my movies ever again. The main thing is we've crossed it off, and as we go into 2026, Dave, we have got, hopefully we'll have some crackers in there as well as some shit as well. But there'll be a different sort of tagline for the podcast next year. But for what it is, my last movie, and I'm bearing in mind, I know I'm going to receive some backlash from you being the next pick. I'm going to put this in Elm Street, Dave. It's not a Hill Valley by any stretch of imagination. It's a god-awful movie. And I think there's only Travolta who sort of saves it, playing the same character he played from Danny Zuko onwards until he sort of did Pulp Fiction. So this, in some respects, is a bit of a watershed moment for his career, because he was absolutely at the point of just being thrown on the Hollywood fucking dust cart, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't. I mean, to be fair, his fucking toupee's in place. He'd not been to any male massage parlors, allegedly, Dave. Allegedly. So, yeah, he looks quite happy in this one, does good old James. So, yeah, Elm Street for me. So what about yourself, Dave?
So probably a surprise to no one, but it's definitely an older one for me. I mean, the thing is, so John Travolta, Kirstie Alley, absolutely charming. And Diane Keaton and Danny DeVito, obviously, they've got talent in this movie, but it just doesn't work at all. They are just wringing the neck out of this franchise. And if you want to go and watch something from the Look Who's Talking universe, then absolutely go and watch that first one. This does nothing for me. I just think it doesn't make sense. There's nothing particularly believable or likable about it. So yeah, definitely an older one for me.
Well, I've done my job, Dave. Yeah. So now it is your pick. I'm expecting the backlash, Dave. So go on, give it to me. What are we doing for our New Year's Eve special?
Well, I mean, you just assume that I'm going to try and stitch you up in the year of the stitch up and go out with a bang. But I try and be a little bit more nuanced than that. So I'd said when I picked Lair of the White Worm that this idea of coupling up, two factors and putting together this British and this horror element was, I thought, would be the thing that would, make you absolutely hate the movie that we're about to watch. The big mistake in that, it was a bit saucy and a bit sexy at times. So I think that, I can't remember exactly what you scored it, but I don't think you put it to the bottom, and for that reason you probably didn't absolutely hate it. But I'm going to have another bite of the cherry with the British horror, and because this is going to come out on New Year's Eve, I've gone with the theme as well. So that is the third factor in this. So this movie, Chris, is from 1987. British, very low budget. I mean, we're talking 60 grand budget. It's called Bloody New Year. Now let's get into the trailer.
It started as a day out, a trip that held the promise of fun and pleasure. But for Rick and his friends, the fun ended early when they landed on Grand Island.
Sounds like you, Dave, the voice.
Yeah. Also on YouTube, Chris.
Yeah.
For those who dare face a horrifying and bloody new year. Attacked by the dead. Threatened by evil. Chased by the unknown. Terrorized by monsters.
I mean, Star was familiar.
Yeah.
Rick, I need you.
They cannot escape the fate that awaits them when they become caught in the angry hazard.
Standards or something like that, maybe.
Maybe. I don't think you'll have seen many of these people in anything else, to be honest.
Have you seen this before?
Yeah.
Oh
Dead
my
or
god.
alive, they are locked in time forever.
Can we not just watch the trailer and review this, Dave?
Trapped in the hotel of horror.
I've seen stuff with this game before,
They can
definitely.
check out anytime,
Yeah?
but they can never leave.
A little Amish beard there.
Yeah? They're doing a bit of the old Eagles then. You can check out anytime, never leave.
What started as a day to remember
You might have just spoiled my song there.
Oh, right, sorry.
ended in a bloody new year.
You know what? I think I'm going to actually like this one because it looks shit. That is horrendous. Absolutely good pick, mate. Very good pick for New Year. I like that. That's
Like I say, 60 grand that costs. It's got very much the feel of something like an after-school special or something. So
yeah,
I can't wait to record this one next week.
Yeah, you might have outdone me there. I think you have outdone me. Thank you, everyone, as always. And honestly, please have a great Christmas with your family. I hope that Santa brings you everything you need. But no, I do appreciate. Me and Dave love the fact all the support we get, all the interaction with everyone, all like the jokes, the piss taking, and that. Honestly, it's been so good again this year. The year of the Stitch Up's been an absolute belter. So some great movies, some that should have stitched us up that we both enjoyed, which is just bizarre. But honestly, thank you, everyone. Again, we both. We love it. The fact that we're like 6-7 years down the line and we're still going and everyone's just, totally engaged and just taking the mick and trying to stitch us up, Dave. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And of course, next year we've got our pain and pleasure year.
Yeah.
So have no idea some of the things we might get sent our way from that. But yeah, thanks everyone so much for all your support, all the feedback and everything for this year. It's been absolutely amazing.
No, it has. Thank you. And if you do want to email us, the VHSStrikesback@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media at VHSStrikesback. And if you do want to support us like all our patrons, get over to patreon.com/the VHS Strikes Back. So the roll call of honor and a big thank you to Reese, Nick, Greg, Gareth, Mike, Lee, Helen, Dylan, Dan, Justin, Susan, Tim, Matt Hales, Kent, Lucky Luda Green, Herbs, Jack, Math Blake, John Hammond, and Mr. Tony Farina. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. Amazing again, absolutely amazing. And, as Dave said, it is the pain and pleasure year. Bring it on. That's all I'll say. So, Dave, I have got a song for us today, and you won't believe this, but we've actually got Mr. John Travolta singing this, and if you stay till the end, he actually leaves a message for all you lovely people. So sit back and enjoy. This one is just simply called Look Who's Talking Now. So, Dave, hit it.
Look who's talking still.
Nice.
Yeah, Merry Christmas then.
Well, the kids are talking, baby. Dogs are talking.
It's Travolta, Dave's singing.
They're wiser than the cast was. Yeah, that much we knew.
I like
Travolta's dancing around like Santa in a toupee. Shines brighter than the tinsel, and it might not blow away. Kirstie's trying hard to keep the holiday bright. Since Cheers said cheerio, she's free every night. And the script's so thin, you could roll it like a cig. But hey, it's Christmas, so we'll let it dance a jig. Oh, look who's talking now. Again, somehow. The dog's got lines and a sleigh to pull. Bruce Willis heard the pitch, said, nah, I'm good, and backed away nice and slow like a reindeer from a wolf. So grab your cocoa, strap that hairpiece tight. We're jingling all the way through this cinematic night. Ho, ho, holy moly, what a cast we found. But hey, it's Christmas, so we're dancing with the sound. Travolta loves a massage like Santa loves milk, though Santa never asked for quite the same silk. He's greased up, slayed up, ready for the spa. Gets a rub down and a Rudolph like haw, haw, haw. Kirstie smiling, bills to pay, she's taking the gig. A film about a talking dog, yeah sure, dream big. The elves read the script and said, well, bless our socks. Even Frosty faced palm till he melted into slush. Now don't be naughty, it's all in jest. Like eggnog spiked by Clark Griswold himself. The film's a bauble, a glittered mess. But oh, it sparkles on the bargain DVD shelf. Oh, look who's talking now. Don't ask us how. It's like a Christmas miracle. No one said no. Bruce Willis pieced out fast like a wise old elf. Left Travolta and the dog to carry the show. Still we'll laugh and we'll cheer. Through the snow we'll plow. 'Cause even silly sequels need some love right now. So let's toast the cast with a grin and a vow. Merry Christmas to the movie that's still talking, and somehow, baby, we're still watching it now. So it's a Merry Christmas from us in this year of the stitch-up. The VHS Strikes Back wishes you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Keep your shoulders popping and key in the door. It's another year ahead of some more. Look who's talking now. Look who's talking now.
Very good. I like the message about keeping the key in the door, you know, as if it's some sort of holiday special or something. This is the message to all of you guys out there. Keep your shoulders popping.
I can't believe that I put that together. The guy just sounds like Travolta, Dave. I absolutely love that. It was actually John that at the end. I didn't want to say anything, Dave. I gave him a massage and he said, "Oh, I'll do it for you for free then, Chris." But no, honestly, thank you everyone again. Another silly movie, silly song, and just a great year again covering the podcast. Absolutely lovely, mate. So thanks for sticking. And thanks for you not deleting me, Dave, and blocking me, because after 6 years, I do have that effect on people. It's just been such good fun. I love it. I'd say love it.
It is absolutely amazing, mate. Well, thank you again. Can't wait for next week. Merry Christmas to everyone if you're listening to this now. Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I'll be back.
That's odd.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Wax on, wax off.
Get to the chopper!
One ring to go.
All right. Ding, ding.
Bust you up. Go for it.
Well, here we go. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Come on. Ain't so bad. Ain't nothing. Come on. You must be crazy or something. I'm crazy. You just a stupid fool. Maybe you crazy something. I ain't breathing heavy. He's a fool. He's stupid. I see you at 6 miles.
I must break you.